Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video here today from Horizon. Ex-wife thought paternity fraud was a good idea until she paid the price. Now, you know me, guys. I think that DNA testing should be absolutely mandatory at birth. There are way too many women out here lying about who the father of the kid is. But we're going to be kicking today's episode off with a clip from this woman right here who is divorced and she has come to regret it. Now, guys, today's video was sent to me by Matrix of Madness. I'm going to leave both of their channels linked in the pinned comment, so make sure you go and check out these guys. And let's jump right into this brief clip and then we'll get into the whole video.
I've just come out of a marriage and my life is really just all over the place, and it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot for me, so it'd be a lot for a potential partner to have to deal with me. And I mean, like, I literally think that last week I've had some sort of mental breakdown, but I'm fine again now.
I love how, you know, women will go out here, they will end their marriages, and then, well, statistically speaking, because they are the ones who are leaving their marriages, and then they decide to jump on TikTok and cry about it like they are most affected. Oh, I couldn't steal all of the man's money, or oh, I didn't get the custody and things like this. You know, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for these women, but let's jump into the video from the very beginning.
Are you kidding me? That all of this financial burden with my children is on me?
I just want you to know that I know Nevaeh is not mine.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. You are shaking.
I know.
I feel your nervousness from here. Are you okay?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm perfect.
Okay.
I just want to get it out there. I want to know the truth. That she deserves it. She deserves everything.
In the case of Benning versus Bodine, when it comes to 23-month-old Robin Benning, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Benning, you are not the father.
You know, guys, I assume that these video clips are fake, you know, these court proceedings and things like this. But there are certainly situations like this that certainly do happen out there in the world where I really feel for the children. They have to go through this situation. They've been thrown into this world, and already they don't even have a stable home to begin with. Okay, we've got these things going to courts, which they should absolutely not be. I mean, these women should have some level of self-control, but of course they don't, a lot of them these days. So the fact that this is even a thing is absolutely disgusting. This is why I say DNA testing should be absolutely mandatory, because there are so many men out here who are either being the father for a kid that is not their own, or they are paying money for kids that are not their own as well. I believe it's France. I've mentioned this in many videos recently, but I believe it's France who goes as far as to not disclose the paternity fraud statistics, probably because they don't want to scare away men from actually getting with the women anymore. But I really feel for the children in this situation, guys. It's very sad.
I'm very sorry.
It doesn't matter. I'm still going to be there.
Mr. Benning, what are your hopes?
I hope Jermaine's mine. I really do. It'd be good to know at least one of my kids is mine. Yeah. I'm looking forward to spending all the time I can with him.
All right. Well, let's get these results. In the case of Benning versus Bodine, when it comes to 6-month-old Jermaine Benning Jr., it has been determined by this court. Mr. Benning, you I'm so sorry, Mr. Benning.
Just by the way, in real life situations where this actually happens and the dudes are getting completely screwed over, nobody gives a damn. This isn't something that's really recognized on a societal level as something that's a problem. Okay, men who go through these situations and they find out that the kid isn't theirs, or their girlfriend or their wife does awful things to them and they report it, which oftentimes they don't. Nobody particularly gives a damn about these issues when it comes to men. Now, I don't know if this is a skit. I'm going to assume these things are fake just because of how acted they are, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that there are so many dudes out here who are in situations that they should not be in, taking care of kids that are not their own, putting up with behavior that should absolutely not be directed at them. And there are literally, guys, many women out here who treat the children as though they're a paycheck, extorting their ex-husbands, extorting their ex-boyfriends and things like this to get resources out of them. Now, call me cynical, but I don't really believe that people who do this actually really care about the family unit. I don't think that they care about their kids as much as they say they do, if at all. And I think a lot of these women are essentially just using these children as resources. But let's continue.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Benning.
I got cribs and playpens and toys, and I've done everything that I do, and
Ms. Bodine, do you know who Jermaine Jr.'s father is?
No, Your Honor. I didn't know that was going to come out like that.
You know.
You see, this is what happens, by the way, before we continue into the next clip. This is what happens when modern women are confronted with the truth, by the way. Oh, I didn't know, I didn't understand, or that's not the way I thought things would work. It's always a matter of, do I have plausible deniability? And if so, even if I don't, I'm still going to try and use it. This woman, of course, you know, the only way I would accept that this woman or these women don't know who the father is because they've actually gotten with so many dudes, they're not sure exactly how to narrow it down. Because the number's not two. It's not between, oh, this guy who I've been saying is the father, and also some other guy who I got with at one time. No, it's oftentimes multiple men. This is why you can't forgive people for bad behavior, because they will continue to go out and do it, and this behavior will continue to worsen over time. I think dudes who go into these situations and they're treated like crap, they're disrespected, especially by women who you know, are as stunning as this, shouldn't be in those situations at all. But let's continue.
You know, I've just come out of a marriage, and my life is really just all over the place, and it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot for me, so it'd be a lot for a potential partner to have to deal with me.
Oh, of course it is. It's always a lot for men to deal with women who have... It doesn't even need to be a marriage, guys. This is why oftentimes dudes don't want to marry or date women, etc., who are going into their 30s, because they know how much baggage these women are bringing to relationships. People like to clown on men. They like to say that it shouldn't matter and things like this, but it absolutely does matter. I'm just going to read the caption here for a moment. Ex-wife laments how her life has been ruined after her divorce and says that she is single. What do you mean you're feeling sorry for yourself? Again, guys, statistically speaking, women are the ones who are initiating these divorces. They are the ones who are leaving their husbands. They are the ones who are leaving their boyfriends because they think that they can do better, even at an age like this, and then they end up crying and making TikTok videos about it.
It'd be a lot for a potential partner to have to deal with me. And I mean, like, I literally think that last week I had some sort of mental breakdown, but I'm fine again now.
Yeah, she's totally fine. Mental breakdowns and all, totally fine.
DeKalb County man claims a major triumph in his 3-year quest to protect men from paying child support for children they didn't father. Last year, he helped change Georgia law, and today his work was put to the test with his own future on the line. Fox 5's Lisa Crane has the story.
Okay, the first case is Tony Odom versus Carnell Smith.
But it was a case that didn't make it into open court. After years of fighting, a judge today ruled Carnell Smith was not responsible to pay child support to a child he did not father. Almost 3 years ago, a DNA test proved that the then 11-year-old girl he had thought was his own was not his child. But in Georgia, that didn't mean the end of his own obligation to financially support that child.
What do you mean, man? Okay, so let me get this straight. The dude was proven years ago that the kid was not his own, and he was still expected to pay for child support even though the kid wasn't his. That is absolutely disgusting. It is blatant theft, to be honest with you. This is why I call it extortion, guys. You know, it's an incredibly dangerous thing for men to go out here and get married and have kids these days. This is why Western societies are absolutely going to crumble, guys. You know, birth rates are plummeting, and it's obvious to me why the birth rates are plummeting, why marriage rates have plummets. It's because men have no reason to involve themselves in these situations. Okay, you might go out there and you might think to yourself, well, I want a family and I want to be able to settle down and things like this. I know a lot of men want to be able to have a family one day, but the problem is Western society is very, very hostile towards men. It's incredibly biased. It is a machine that is designed to crush men. And so I don't blame men when they choose to walk away from these situations. So this dude, kids weren't his. 3 years, excuse me, kid wasn't his. 3 years still on the hook for paying child support, even though the DNA test confirmed that it wasn't his years ago. Absolutely disgusting. So let's run it back and let's continue.
He had thought was his own was not his child. But in Georgia, that didn't mean the end of his own obligation to financially support that child. Smith turned his case into a crusade and helped shape paternity fraud legislation that passed last year. Today, his case was the first to test the new law, and in chambers, the judge terminated his parental rights and obligations.
I feel this is a major victory for defrauded victims everywhere.
There were a lot of people watching this case, like Reverend Randall Robinson. Through DNA testing, he discovered that some of the children he had always thought were his own weren't.
In a previous marriage, and 2 out of the 3 children are not mine. At that time, I still was ordered by the court to pay child support.
And this is the first real test of this new legislation, but it appears right now that even after a man proves he is not the biological father, he must still come to court to end his child support obligation.
Oh, of course, he has to still continue to jump through legalities, even though he's being robbed from. And I'll say this, guys, child support, even if you are the father, you know, these women, what they're doing is they're going out here, they are having kids, they're getting married, and then they're leaving because they know that they can receive child support from the father. So a lot of these women shouldn't be receiving child support at all, to be honest with you. In fact, I don't even think it should be a damn thing. If you are not with the man, you should not be able to continue to receive benefits as if you were with that man. You don't see men walking around going, hey, you know, I divorced my wife and all of this sort of thing because we grew apart and blah, blah, blah. But I still expect her to come over very often and cook for me because it is the lifestyle that I have become accustomed to. If men were walking around saying this crap, everybody would take them not very seriously whatsoever. But you have these women out here who expect to continue to receive support from the men that they are no longer with. So we see all over the news, guys, these days, oh, why is it that men are legislating over my bodies? Why can't women's bodies? Why can't I do what I want? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? And yet men are quite literally forced to do these things. We are forced to work for people that are not within our purview to protect or provide for. I mean, guys, riddle me this, okay? Dudes go out here, they have a family, the woman decides to leave because she feels like it, you're on the hook to pay. The question is, why should men have kids in the first place? And we're not even talking about tax, by the way, guys. You want to go out there and you want to earn a lot of money, you want to work hard, level up in your career, guess what? The government has their greedy hands in that as well. So you're being robbed by the government in taxes, and then you're being robbed by the women you were supposed to settle down and have a family with. I wonder why men are not supporting your society. I wonder why.
Smith says there's still work to be done in Georgia.
We're going to ask that there be a truth in pregnancy disclosure, that we believe that mothers who know there's more than one person that could be the child's father should be required to make that declaration before the court in the very first hearing.
They're never going to do that. They're just going to lie about this. This is completely nonsensical. This is not a victory, man. The women are just going to rock up to court and they're just going to say, oh, well, I didn't know. They're just going to say, yeah, I've only been with him. Of course they're going to say this because because that's how they know that they're going to be able to steal money from the man.
In DeKalb County, Lisa Crane, Fox 5 News.
Carnell Smith is also working on similar legislation in more than 20 other states and in several other countries. He says he would still like to have contact with the now 14-year-old girl he thought was his daughter, but he says that's up to her mother.
Are you kidding me? That all of this financial burden with my children is on me? This is not fair.
When a man shows you who he is, you have to believe him. When anybody shows you who they are, you have to believe them.
You know what? I totally agree. And the way you're presenting yourself right now, you seem to me like you're a night worker. So I'm going to believe that. What is this woman dressed in, man? You know, and I can't really talk here. I'm dressed as an animated vampire man, so fair point, okay? But she's, I mean, what is this, man? Why won't men do traditional things anymore? Today's traditional women, quote unquote. This is what they look like, guys. This is who's going to be the mother of your children. Screw that. I'm going somewhere else, man. This is why men leave the country. This is why men go to Southeast Asia. This is why they go to the Philippines. Because you might think that you're stunning and you're so attractive and you're so confident and powerful. I mean, this woman has a hip tattoo, for goodness sake, if I'm spying that correctly down here. Okay, and we're supposed to have families with these women and provide for them? Oh, hell no.
You have to believe them. When anybody shows you who they are, you have to believe them.
Oh, you tell them, Queen.
He doesn't have to pay nothing of it? Nothing?
That's the that comes with being a woman that is so ride or die about love.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, learn your partner before you jump ahead and fall in love with the words and all of that stuff that make up this fairy tale. Because when no one's looking, that's when everything just goes left.
Wait. So she's crying and she's complaining because the previous man that she was with, she's not receiving money from. I'm assuming she had kids and she couldn't get child support out of him for whatever reason. Maybe she actually committed paternity fraud and this was the issue here. The kids weren't actually his. And of course, the woman is the one who's most affected. Crazy.
Just goes left.
Financially, the kids are my responsibility. I have primary custody of them. Damn.
But I'm strong. And I'm here. I will always believe in love. Love is real. But
not with you, it isn't.
I'm going to take time to love on me and pour on me. And I want to learn this new woman that I am. This woman that has learned to emotionally be in control.
Miss Laura?
What on earth is she talking about? I'm a new woman. I'm this. I'm that. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Okay, so let's recap this situation. This woman has kids with some dude. Right, she has kids with some dude. She has full custody of them, apparently, or she has primary custody, and so she's crying and complaining that she can't get child support payments out of the man who is the father of the children. I mean, it's absolutely amazing, guys. No accountability whatsoever. I always find these situations to be incredibly funny because my thoughts are, okay, if he's such a terrible man, and you're in a situation such as this, why did you decide to have kids with him in the first place? Women these days want to act as though it's so damn difficult to find a good boyfriend or so damn difficult to find a good husband. It really isn't. These women are just absolutely terrible at picking them, number one. Or number two, they were the ones who ruined everything and kicked the guy out. So I don't really feel any sympathy. And the fake crying is incredibly hilarious to me. But look at this, guys. Very traditional woman. Don't you just want to provide and care for this? You know, we got the hip tattoo. We got things like this. Let's just recap some of these clips earlier in the video as well. We have this woman right here who I'm going to assume divorced her husband, statistically speaking. And of course, she's most affected now. She's broken. Nobody wants her because she's single in her 50s or 60s or whatever this is. Absolutely terrifying stuff. And then we have this situation here where 2 for 2, the kids are not this dude's, and apparently the woman at the end doesn't even know, assuming this is real, which I don't think it is, but assuming it is, this woman doesn't even know who the damn father of the kid is anyway. She has no idea. I thought it was going to be him. I wasn't with any other dudes. You're a complete liar. But guys, we're going to be ending today's video there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.